Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to fold a paper crane that flaps. You'll be able to use this method on any size piece of paper, whether it's big or small, like this little gum wrapper I have here. But for the purpose of this video and your first attempt at making this, I recommend you using a normal A4 size paper. And you also need to find some scissors and a flat surface to work on. So once you're ready, we need to turn this piece of paper into a square. So we do that by grabbing one of the corners, lining it up to the edge until we have some nice neat corners on the end. And throughout the video, you'll see that it really helps to keep all of your lines nice and neat, all of your corners matched up. So now we just need to cut off this excess piece here. If it's tricky to cut this off in a straight line, just draw a line with a pencil on the edge and then cut it. Or if you don't have scissors, there's actually a trick to do it without them. Let me know if you want to learn that trick. So now that we've done that, we can get rid of our excess piece here and we're just left with a perfect square. And now what we want to do is make some creases in the paper to make it look sort of like a Union Jack. So what you're going to do is fold diagonal in the opposite direction that we've already done. And then again, we're going to fold the paper in half both ways. Make sure you pay special attention at lining everything up nice and neatly and pressing quite firmly when you make a crease. So now that we have our Union Jack, I actually recommend you flipping the piece of paper over and refolding all of those creases, just so that they're all very flexible for our next step, which is a bit tricky. For this step, I'm gonna go through it pretty quickly, and then I'll show you from a different angle what it looks like. So don't worry if you're watching me and getting very confused with where my hands are. As you can see, I'm not making any new creases. I'm really just manipulating the paper into the creases that we've already made and then folding it. So if you're making new creases, it's going to end up uneven and be a bit difficult in the later steps. And what you want to end up with is a nice even square that is actually a pocket. So with the corner facing you, you're going to fold it in half, pinch this end here and bring that half back. And press that down and bring the other half down, keeping everything nice and neat. And we'll go inside the piece of paper here and bring it all to the center so it's just one square. It is a bit difficult to explain this in words, so just watch this step as many times as you need. The next step, which is the kite fold, is pretty easy. So with the pocket facing you, you're going to take the corners on the sides and bring them into the center. Right, not past the center, just to the center, so nothing is overlapping. And we're going to do that on each side. Remember to press everything down firmly. And then once we've done this, we're just going to create a crease with the triangle on the top. So I'm folding that down one way and then folding it again in the other direction, just so we have that crease there. So now that we've made these creases with the kite fold, we're undoing them. And once again, I will show you the next step. pretty quickly, and then from a better angle show you again. So don't worry if it looks really confusing. Once again, I'm not making any new creases by manipulating the paper. I'm only using the creases we've already made in the previous step. This part is a bit tricky. Make sure the sides are coming just to the center and not overlapping. If they're overlapping, it'll just make it a bit difficult for the bird to flap, but it'll be fine. You might have to help the paper fold into the creases that you've already made, as I'm doing right here, and then smoothing down the corner so that everything is nice and neat in the center. And so end up with this diamond. So having undone our kite, I'm going to hold down the top triangle, lift the first layer of paper, hold everything else down, and then keep bringing it up until the paper starts to fold inwards. And I'm just going to smooth everything down until it's all centered. And we repeat that on the opposite side as well. So now we're going to actually start making the crane's body, and for that once again I'm going to run through this and then show you from a better angle. So what I'm doing is I've opened up a side, taking that flap, bringing it up while folding it in half, and then pinching it until I see the right line form. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So this is the crane's body. Now from a better angle, we have our diamond that we're going to turn on its side and open up. Bring that flap up while also folding it in half at the same time. And then we're going to pinch it down when we see a nice clean line form right there. I've just pinched it, and repeat that on the opposite side. Now we just pick which side is the head and the tail. Doesn't really matter which side, I'm going to use the right. So I open up this little flap here, and then I'm going to bring the tip down while folding in half at the same time. And I'm just going to pinch it once it looks like a head to me. And there we go, that's your head. Now for the wings, we're going to grab the tip of one, bring it down until it lines up with the shoulder. Still lined up with the other wing. Doesn't really matter too much how much you bring it down. And then we'll just repeat that on the other side and match it up so they're even. And so we have the body. To help your crane flap, we'll just give it some feet. Pinching these little pieces here, and we're going to give it some arms so that it can stand by pinching these pieces here, just so that it'll be able to do that. And we're basically done. In order to flap the bird, you're going to pinch the arms and gently pull the tail. And there we have a crane.